New tonight, video shows ICE agents arresting at least 3 people outside the Wilson County Courthouse. In one video, at least 4 agents are holding down a man. You can hear people yelling at the agents, asking for explanations as to why the arrests are happening. Now, we've reached out to ICE about this. They haven't replied. The Wilson County Sheriff's Office wrote that ICE can conduct enforcement actions if they have credible information about someone they're looking for at places that include courthouses. The Tennessee Immigrant and Refugee Rights Coalition condemned the arrests, claiming these people were showing up to court for traffic tickets and that many of them had pending immigration application. Of course, this follows that footage captured by WSMV4 Investigates in the last 2 weeks. It shows immigration agents taking people away, sometimes forcefully, at the Robertson County Courthouse. They pleaded guilty in traffic court, and after paying fines, ICE agents took them into custody. This sparked protests there, and so far ICE, the Sheriff's Office, and the court have not replied to our messages for comment on those arrests.